Hey guys, Fergus here with weathermapping.com. In today's video, we're looking at average temperature departure in Celsius over the last 15 days for Europe. We're going to be looking at 4 different parts of Europe: Western, Northern, Eastern, and Southern. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the Weather Mapping YouTube channel. Enjoy! So let's explain the metric. Temperature departure is simply the difference between what actually happened and what's typical for that time of year. So the math is straightforward. Departure equals observed average temperature minus normal average temperature. Let's give a quick real-world example. If a city's typical late January average is 5 degrees, but the last couple of weeks averaged 8 degrees, that's a plus 3 degrees departure. If it averaged 1 degree instead, that would be a negative 4 degrees departure. On the maps, you're going to see the reds and the oranges mean above normal, blues mean below normal, and the deeper the color, the bigger that departure. Why this metric matters is that it captures pattern, not just a single cold snap or a one-day warm spike. Over a 15-day period, a persistent departure affects things that people actually notice: heating demand, snow and ice durability, road conditions, winter crops, livestock stress, even how wintry a winter market or ski week kind of feels. A -7 departure over 2 weeks is not just a bit chilly, it actually changes your behavior, it changes energy usage and kind of risk. What's the large scale pattern of Europe over the last 15 days? Well, across these 4 maps, the dominant story is this strong north and east cold pool versus a south and southwest kind of warm tilt. Northern Europe is the headline. Scandinavia and Finland are broadly well below normal, and that cold extends into the Baltics. Eastern Europe continues that cold theme throughout Poland, Belarus, and much of Ukraine. But then there's a sharp transition zone where the cold relaxes towards the Black Sea, into the parts of the Balkans. Meanwhile, Western Europe, especially France, leads mild, where the areas farther northeast, like northern Germany into Poland, kind of sit on that colder side. Southern Europe is mostly near normal to warmer than normal, with the Balkans and Greece standing out as consistently mild. So we have a classic contrast here: coastal Atlantic influence helping Western Europe stay relatively moderate, while interior and northern continental areas are locked into a colder regime. The gradients are sharp, especially from Germany into Poland, and from the northern Balkans into Ukraine. Let's have a regional breakdown of each area. So let's start with Western Europe. Western Europe is a tale of 2 neighborhoods. France is broadly mild, with a lot of countries sitting around +1 to +2.5. That warmth is fairly widespread, from the Atlantic side through central regions down towards parts of the south and the southwest. Places like the General Paris Basin, Loire Valley, down towards Bordeaux, Toulouse corridors are living on the warmer side, and warmer than normal for late January and early February. Move northeast and this story kind of flips. The Low Countries into northern Germany trend neutral to below normal, and then it deepens into a more noticeable cold over the northern Germany, kind of Poland area, with pockets into that -3, -4 range. Denmark and the kind of nearby waters are also on that colder side. Moving into Northern Europe, this is where winter is really showing up. Across Norway, Sweden, Finland, departures are broadly in that -5 to -8 degrees Celsius, with kind of large areas sitting in this kind of deeper blue range. Central and southern Sweden and much of Finland look consistently cold. That cold is extensive enough that it's not just a local valley effect, it's actually a regional kind of air mass story. The Baltic region stands out too, but with some of the most anomalous values on the map. Many areas pushing -8 to -9. That's the kind of departure that keeps ice very stubborn, kind of makes salting roads pretty optimistic. can turn a short walk for some fresh air into a poor life choice. The main exception is in the far north towards the Arctic coast, where departures actually ease and are closer to normal. And then you have Iceland leaning very mild, generally a couple degrees above normal, which is very on brand for Iceland. Everyone else is freezing, and Iceland says we're fine. The UK and Ireland are comparatively tame, mostly near normal to slightly above normal, not screaming warm, not screaming cold, just basically general British weather. Moving into Eastern Europe, the cold theme continues with a big cohesive cold shield across Poland, Belarus, north and central Ukraine. Much of that zone sits in the -5 to -8 neighborhood, especially cold pockets across Belarus and adjacent areas. What makes this map interesting, though, is that transition south and southwest. As you head into parts of Slovakia, Hungary, Western Romania, the pattern flips to that milder than normal scenario, with warmer pockets pushing +4 to +5 in some areas. That's a real sharp boundary over not much distance. It's kind of that classic winter in my front yard, spring in my backyard kind of setup. Closer to the Black Sea and into southern Ukraine, Crimea, departures relax towards near normal to slightly below. So the cold is strongest inland and to the north, and then it kind of softens with that maritime influence. Southern Europe is mostly mild leaning, but not uniformly. Iberia, Spain, Portugal sit largely near normal or slightly above, but they're dealing with their own precipitation problems at the moment. Italy trends mostly above normal, generally in that +1 to +2 degree range, including parts of southern Italy and Sicily. Not extreme, but not enough to kind of shave off that winter edge. The real standout is the Balkans and Greece, where you can see a broader area of +2 to +4 degrees C departure. From the Adriatic side across into the interior Balkans, down through Greece. It's consistently on that warm side for this time of year. And that's the kind of anomaly that would reduce kind of heating load and chip away at any kind of snow longevity in lower elevations. So some context and the implications, let's put it all together. This 15-day pattern sets up a cold demand north and east and a milder south and southwest. In northern and much of Eastern Europe, the sustained cold likely means higher heating demand, greater ice risk, and better odds of snowpack preservation, especially if there's moisture around. In Western Europe, the mildness, especially over France, leans towards lower heating demand, fewer prolonged cold impacts. Into the Balkans and Greece, the mild anomaly can mean reduced snow retention at mid elevations and kind of an earlier spring feeling, even though it's technically still winter. And then kind of a final summary. In short, Scandinavia and the Baltics are stuck in the freezer aisle, while the southern half of Europe is moving into early spring. So, if you like this video and you want to see me cover different parts of the world, different variables, please consider subscribing to the Weather Mapping YouTube channel, and I will see you on the next one. Laters.